Hi, I'm Tovah and thanks for joining. Today we're doing a short class all about hamstrings. So if you have a lot of tightness through the back of the thighs, possibly in the back of the knees, as well as up into your lower back and shoulders, the hamstrings might be the issue. So we're going to work on those hammies. We're going to begin today's class in half monkey God pose, and if you do have a small cushion or a little bit of padding, I suggest you might want to use it for this part of the practice, but if you don't, you can also just fold your mat in half to give your knee a little bit more cushion. So we're going to start with one knee down on the cushion, and the other leg is going to step forward into a lunge position. And you decide how much you split the legs from the start here. If you know that you're a little bit more open through the hamstrings, a little bit more flexible, you can split the legs a little farther at the beginning. And if you're not, keep the back leg tucked in a little bit closer. That'll make it a little gentler and a little easier. As you lie over your thigh here, drop your chin as far into your chest as you can. And then from here, slowly just start to inch yourself back until you find your edge, or that gentle stretch just along the hamstring area, so back of the upper thigh. And you may feel this a little bit more behind the knee, maybe into the calf. You might feel a little bit more of the stretch through the buttocks or your glute muscles, or you might be feeling this more across your back body. And those are all places that it's okay to feel sensation here. But just coming to that edge that's gentle. We can stay here an extended period of time. You can always adjust your position if you need to go a little deeper or back off a little bit. But we're just going to hang out here. Close your eyes if you like. Taking this opportunity to get just a little bit quieter. Taking just a few more deep breaths here. And now begin to lift your head as that helps ease the stretch, and then just gently shifting out and away from the posture. Just take your time here, moving slowly, making any movements that you need before we come into this position on the opposite side. So just getting yourself set up to start as you come into that forward lunge, lying over your thigh, dropping your head. And try to keep your chest as tight to your thigh as you can here. If it's really pulling away, that's often a sign that you're going a little bit too deep into the posture. And if it means that you need to shift back a little less in order to keep your head down, I would suggest that you do that. By dropping the head, that helps to better stretch the full fascial line from the back of the neck all the way across the back, around the buttocks, past the hamstring, and then right down to the back of our heels. Taking one last big deep breath here. And then lifting the head as you slowly start to move out of the posture. Again, just really taking your time here. You can set your cushion off to the side. And then now if you do have a strap or a towel or a belt, we're gonna lie back onto our mats and doing a little bit of work with the strap. So just get comfortable here. We're gonna start with both legs bent and then lifting your right leg up, and we'll strap the right foot. So just bringing the strap somewhere around the center or around the balls of the foot. And then depending on how you like to use the strap, you could have your arms reaching up high and holding the strap, or you could extend down and have your elbows resting on the mat, or anywhere in between. So whatever feels most comfortable for you. And just start to gently draw back the top leg. And you can micro bend your knee here. So if you have a lot of tightness or you feel like you're locking the knee, go ahead and bend it just a little bit. But at this point, we're not trying to bend our knee deeply in order to bring our foot further back. It should just be a slight bend in order to release a little bit of tension there. Just finding that place that feels like about a 7 out of 10, a place that you can stay. Allow the stretch to marinate a little bit. And it's the time that we stay here in yin yoga that really allows the muscles, the tendons, the fascia, everything to start to release more deeply, giving you a bigger overall stretch and really helping to release some of that tight tension that's maybe prohibiting your movement or making you feel sore and stiff. And at any point, if it feels a little bit too tough, if you've maybe gotten in too far, back off a little bit here. The goal is for this to be gentle. And now easing back from the stretch just a little bit here so that you can straighten out your left leg. Pushing your left leg all the way straight, gently draw the toes back towards the shin. And then just readjusting here so that you're back in that edge. Often in this position, you can't go quite as far back, and that's okay. And we're just going to take our last couple breaths here. You can put the strap all into your left hand, and then you're just gently going to start to draw the foot across your body. So over towards the left side. And you usually don't need to go farther than your big toe lining up with your left shoulder, because we don't want to come into a twist here. So your bum cheek should not be off the mat. And if you feel like you need a little stronger stretch, you're going to pull the foot farther back towards your face. So just feeling a gentle stretch coming along the outside edge here. Perfect. Come back, bend both knees, ease yourself away from the strap. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and put the strap on the left foot. So starting in the same way where we've got the right leg bent, the left leg is straight. Just easing yourself back with the strap. And let's begin to ease that stretch just a little bit. Straighten out the right leg. And then just readjust. This might be just a little bit less depth with the foot. This lets us know that our body's connected. The right side does affect what happens on the left side. And now let's take that strap, put it all into your right hand, and just find a little bit of movement over towards the right side. Again, making sure that both buttocks stay on the mat here, so you're not rolling way over into a twist. We're not looking to engage the spine here, just stretching through the IT band and the TFL, your tensor fascia lata. Perfect. Come on back, bending the knees, just easing yourself away from the strap. And just take your time here as we come up to seated. And moving into our last asana for today for the hamstrings, we're going to finish with a really nice gentle forward fold. And you may want to come back and grab that little cushion that you had and just tuck it underneath your seat. So with forward folds, if we can add a little cushion underneath the edge of our bum, just to kind of wedge us forward a little bit more, it helps to allow your hips to tip farther forward, which allows you to fold farther forward and just make the stretch a little bit deeper, but also a better position because it's getting your hips moving in the right direction. So even if you're someone who's a little bit more flexible, using a cushion can definitely help you go deeper into the stretch as well. So we're just going to take our legs forward here in a really, really long diamond. So my knees are just very gently bent out towards the sides, giving me a little bit of space to fold down to in towards the center. You can put your feet together, you can leave them a little bit apart here as you start to bow your head, and then allow yourself just to drop into the space any amount. And because our knees are bent right now, the stretch is a little bit more into our back instead of our hamstrings. So we're just warming it up a little bit here. And then once you feel ready, just ease back a little bit so that you can stretch your legs out nice and straight. Gently draw the toes back towards the shins. And then just hang out in this forward fold position. So now you are using your hamstrings a little bit more. And if they're really tight and that does feel like it's a little bit too much for you, you can always go back to that long diamond position. You're still going to get some stretch through the hamstrings, just not quite as much of a stretch. And you want to notice when you're tipping forward that your aim is to set your tummy on top of your thighs. So notice if your belly button is tucking in, if your hips are not tipping forward and your belly button's tucking in, there'll be more of a rounding through your back. And not that we're not rounding here, we're relaxing, dropping our head, we're rounding in this position, but it'll be something more looking like you're up top and your back is going more rounding backward, as opposed to allowing the hip to tip forward and then you rounding forward and down. And this is where the cushion can really help with that positioning. Just taking a few more breaths here before we finish off today's practice. Good, and slowly coming back up to tall seated. And it might feel good just to take a little bit of a lean back here, open up through the front body. And then just allowing yourself to come into any comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me for today's short hamstring practice. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give me the thumbs up button, and don't forget to leave me a comment to let me know how you liked the class, or if you have ideas for other classes that you'd love to see on this channel. And if you did enjoy today's class, you can click the link in the description and treat me to a cup of coffee as a way to say thank you. We'll finish today's practice with our hands at our heart. Loka Samusta Suki Nu Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere find happiness and freedom. Namaste.